other thing that I really wanted to talk about, which is also related to Madeline, when the kid was possessed when she was asleep and talking for the ghost of Do Yi, all I can think is kids are creepy. Kids can be so creepy. Madeline, first of all, a little kid whispering to nobody, it's so scary. I can't tell you the number of times Madeline just was like, I'm like, who are you talking to? What is happening? But Madeline, one time when she was about 2, she's not good at going to sleep by herself. So I keep her company while she goes to sleep, and I'll just read a book. And we were lying there in the dark, and I'm reading my book with my little book light. And Madeline said, "Mama, tell the man in the corner to go away." Like, I was instantly filled with this terror, but I didn't want to encourage that behavior. I didn't want her to think there was something to be responding to. So I was like, "Go away, man. You can leave now. We're all good." And then the next day I called, or maybe even after Madeline went to bed, I called my one friend who was really into spirits and whatnot. And she's like, "Put something iron in the corner." And I had 2 cast iron skillets, and I just put one of them in the corner, and it just stayed there for the rest of the time that we lived in that apartment. But she also said to me when she came into the kitchen, I was cooking and she had been in her room, and she told me, "I was in my room and somebody took my hand, but I turned around and I couldn't see anyone, but I still knew I wasn't in danger." And I was like, what are these things? Kids can be creepy. Anyway.
Kids are creepy.
Kids are creepy.
Just wanted to make sure I took
It's funny though, thinking about it, I'm like, I think I was a creepy kid too. I'm sure my family thought it was like, wait a minute. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot my beautiful picture. Sorry, I'm going to put that back up. I got so into this idea of the Hungry Ghost
gorgeous.
Month. Yeah, and I did all this research about the Hungry Ghost Month, and I love this idea of the lanterns being used to light the ghost way back to the spirit world. And I just I thought that was so beautiful.
Yeah, here they light incense sticks along the road. And you have to be really careful not to like kick them or step on them, because that's also bad luck.
I was really surprised when I read in the foreword when she said, "Don't cut your fingernails or your hair."
Oh my gosh, I know.
Possession. I was like, whoa.
I would like, oh, sorry, just possess me because I gotta cut these.
That one I didn't know. That's actually like, also like a Chinese New Year thing though. Like you have to cut your hair before Chinese New Year. You can't cut it once the New Year starts, because then you have all this good luck and you don't want to cut it away.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I just love doing research and dramaturgy. So I took a bunch of images. I thought they were all stunning. I'll show you guys. There's this one, and there's this one, and there's this one.
Ooh.
But they all seem to be floating lanterns on water, not ones that were released into the air.
You're not allowed to do that in Singapore, I think.
We did that once at the beach, and I was like, what if this lights something on fire? Like, this is blowing in the wrong direction. That can't be good.
And now the dramaturgy section. Sorry, 5 stars. 5 stars makes me laugh. And now the dramaturgy section, where we each share an example of something we learned while doing research on the show. So I was fascinated about the whole, how long does an organ last outside of the body before it can be transplanted? And so I went down a rabbit hole, and different organs can last different amounts of times depending on the organ. And it looks like the heart can last the least amount of time, and the kidney the most amount of time. And kidneys are roughly 20 to 36 hours. Hearts are roughly 4 to, and I've got a little chart here that I'll cut and paste into my notes, but hearts are between 3 to 8 hours, it looks like. And then lungs require the next amount of time, and then intestines, livers, pancreases, pancreas, and then kidneys.
You know, one thing that really stood out to me was he says that there's this whole big thing that's made out of the fact that she is O, her blood type is O.
Yes, universal donor.
But that's not true. O negatives are universal donors. And I know this because I am O negative. So it stood out to me as weird as he said, O is the universal donor. I think I have in my notes somewhere, so come at my organs. What do you want to share for your dramaturgy?
Okay, so it seems like every time we do this, I go down some morbid rabbit hole or whatever. But I was fascinated by, you know, because the theme of death runs throughout the show. And so I was fascinated by how long it takes for a body to decompose. That's the rabbit hole I went down.
Whoa,
I know it's not necessarily...
like the last one.
Right, so I apologize. Maybe we need to put this in the disclaimer, but I found this amazing little infographic that I'm going to put a link to in my dramaturgy notes that talks about how in 100 years it takes, after 100 years, the only thing left if you were to decompose in a coffin would be 3 things. And these things are, let's see. These things are teeth, this thing called grave wax, and the threads of whatever clothing you may have been wearing. So the teeth, which pretty much don't decompose, and grave wax, which is basically what happens to the fat in your body, that's left over, and the threads of your clothes. Everything else is gone. So I thought that was fascinating. That science nerd in me thought that was fascinating.
Even the bones? Wow.
That's the thing.
The
like,
bones also, they turn to dust.
Oh, wow.
So,
except the teeth.
All those movies where you see like crypts and there are bones in them from 1,200 years ago is all wrong.
It's a lie just to scare the kids.
It's a lie.
We're gonna read up on a lot of plays and talk about them in